Good morning again. Um, there are some familiar faces and there are some new faces as we look out here.
There were certainly more new faces about half an hour ago.
Yeah, that's right,
So
and they've all gone. It's really lovely being back here. I'm just gonna. There's another PowerPoint. I don't know if you can. This is a photo of the city where we live. It's beautiful. You can see it's lovely. It's got history, and it's on the north coast of Spain. When you think of Spain, what do you think of? Just call out some things that when you hear the word Spain, what are the things that come to mind? Heat, okay. Bullfighting. Holiday destination. The Camino de Santiago, okay. The way, St. James's Way, okay. These might be some of the places you know: Barcelona, Madrid, Santiago. You might know Seville down in the south. But Andrew and I are right on the northern tip of Spain, on the center of the northern coast, in a town called Gijón. The province we are in is called Asturias. And if you ask any Asturian, it is the real Spain. Okay? The Arabs never came up and conquered that little part of Spain up there because the mountains around it were too beautiful to get across. So they are really proud as the true Spaniards. Okay, this is our family. This was just a fun photo from Christmas. We thought we'd throw a fun one up there.
they're not our pets, I promise you.
They're not our pets.
If you were thinking of coming and visiting us, they will not be there.
Yeah. And alpacas they're not Spanish either. They're from South America, but it was a fun thing to do. So Andrew and I, we live in Gijón. As I said earlier, we've been there for almost 22 years, or 21 years, sorry. And our kids are now adults, and they have dispersed from Gijón. So we have Tyler, she's our eldest. She's living in Sydney. She's been here for 3 years now, spending time here, trying to get work, and just spending time with family, particularly grandparents. Reed, he was in Barcelona, but is now back in Oviedo, which is the capital of our province, working at the local university in research. Mac is in Valencia studying, which is on the Mediterranean coast, currently in Australia with us actually for a couple of weeks. And then Denny is up in Bristol in the UK studying up there. So our kids now are kind of dispersed from us, but still very much part of what we do, just doing it in different places.
One thing I wanted to say, especially when the kids were here earlier, to encourage them maybe, but most of you probably know, I grew up here at St. Stephen's. I came to St. Stephen's with my mum many, many years ago. I'm 52 now, so I suppose I was here from day one until about 13 or 14 years of age. And I always tell people, just on the other side of that brick wall there, I said to the then pastor, Don Howard, sorry. What do I do to follow Jesus? And he said, Andrew, just pray the prayer. And me and a mate, we dedicated our lives to God when we were 12 or 13 years old. So my journey began here. And 40 years later, we went on. I moved on to Noe Baptist Church, and then I started chasing Liana, and she took me across to St. John's, Sutherland, where we left to go overseas from. But yeah, it all started here, so I've got great memories. Anyway, just to encourage you.
Okay, so we have a team in Gijón. Andrew and I are with an organisation called Pioneers, and then we work with Stephen Unstuk. They work with an organisation called WEC, and then Sid and Kate, an American couple who are in the process of trying to come and join our team. So that's what we do. We do life together as a team.
These are the two ministries in which we're involved in. The Immersion Idiomas is our language school that, as I said, we want to try and use as a platform to link kids and youth and family, anyone, into the youth program. So we always looking for crossover. I know I'm jumping to the last slide first, and she'll get angry with me. But that going back to the previous one, the language academy, we want to see kids and people focus into 180 grados, which is the youth association. And that's 180 degrees. So the philosophy is people should turn around and look to God. Yeah. In the language school, we teach English. We teach English from kids of the age of 2 up to seniors to 72. We have a great range of ages, but the majority of them are kids and youth. So, so that'll be the majority.
So we teach English. We teach English every afternoon from Monday to Friday, from 3 o'clock in the afternoon till almost 9:30. By the time we leave, 10 o'clock at night. That's the Spanish way. So our work week is the afternoons, just Monday to Thursday, teaching English as an extracurricular activity outside of school.
And a little funny story, many years ago when we opened the language school, someone in this room here, sitting right here now, was over in the room, was over with us, and complained to me time and time again, Andrew, for all this IKEA furniture you're putting together in this new language school, please give me a cordless drill. And he didn't have a cordless drill. I made him put all the IKEA furniture together with a hand screwdriver. Anyway, you can find out who that is later if you don't know who it is already.
Yeah, that's your task. Find out who was it that had to put
Second
our
question
furniture
over morning tea. Who put the IKEA furniture together with a screwdriver?
Okay, so the second thing that Andy said that we do is we're part of a youth association that we formed many years ago, and we work with youth and young people, share the gospel. They are unchurched people, a little bit like your Lego Day. Many unchurched kids come here and get a little glimpse of the gospel. That's what we do at 180 grados. So it's like a PCYC. So the two things that we do is every week we surf. We don't. Andrew does.
I go.
Yeah.
I take the kids surfing on a Saturday morning. We go surfing, come back, wash off, shower up, sit down at the bar. I cook them the best breakfast I've had in the week, and we share the gospel over the bar.
Okay, not bar, drinking bar, kitchen bar, like a...
Yeah, no drinking, no alcohol.
It's a kitchen.
7 o'clock in the morning.
It's the island of the kitchen. And then the other thing we do on once a week, we open the Bible with Spanish friends. So we come together and we sit and read God's word, and we want them to discover who God is. They are people who have been brought up in Catholicism. They have only started reading the Bible with us. It is not something the Catholic Church encourages them to do. You go to Mass, you listen to whatever is said, the prayers, and then you go home. It's not something that's encouraged to kind of explore who God is in a relational way outside of the church. On that as well, it's really difficult because obviously Australia has the Catholic Church, but I can't explain that it's the same denomination, but it's very, very different the way that it is. It manifests in Spain as a
well,
church.
we know from the Protestant traditions in Australia, the Anglican Church can look very different in Sydney to somewhere else. Same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing.
So just to give you a little bit of statistics for those who like numbers, it is about 2% of the Spanish population are evangelicals, but half of that is because of the immigration from South America. So if you're looking at actually the Spanish people, it's about 1% that are evangelicals. About 54%, I think it is, are Catholic. But of that 54%, it is less than 17% that actually go to church. So it's very much a Catholic by culture nation, not by a relationship with Jesus.
And statistics are really interesting. I don't like statistics because they don't really help you. They don't help you because when you're talking about maybe 1% of the population, evangelical, people who know Jesus, let's just say that, they're going to be in Barcelona or Madrid. We're in the Mudgee or the Bathurst, on the coast though, of Spain. So it's a completely different scene altogether.
This is just a photo. This is the local beach. This is some of the kids surfing on Saturday mornings, hearing the gospel every Saturday. Andrew and Steve recently, they did the I am statements, and it was amazing just to take the kids through who does Jesus say he is. all that we do is kind of trying to get people to feed into those things, a little bit like Lego. You want people to come back. You want people to hear about the life that they can have in Jesus and become part of this community here. That's what our prayer is and our hope is for the people of Gijón. I've got prayer points. I won't go through them. If you're thinking of immersion, pray for the families. Pray that they will know who Jesus is and that they will do that crossover. I love how you guys are trying to do exactly the same. I felt like as you guys shared about the Lego Day and the life course that you're going to do, you guys here are doing exactly what we're trying to do on the other side of the world. It's making those connections. It's getting those crossovers into the community where they can
relationships.
They can meet and know who Jesus is. For 180, just for the people that turn up there again, that they're hearing the gospel, that they will start to respond. For another thing for 180, I don't know who's getting our newsletters, but we're trying to purchase the property, and we want that to be purchased because missionaries can come and missionaries can go, but we want 180 as an association to remain in Gijón no matter who is there, that it will be a premise, a lighthouse. We often refer to it as a lighthouse for the community. So you can pray. We're about 80,000 euros short of 242,000 that we need. So God's been amazing the way he's been sending money our way. But that's kind of...
There's a big trust fund up in the UK that might give us all of the money we need, so pray for
Canada,
that.
not UK,
Canada.
Canada. So you could pray for that actually.
Yeah, pray for that. If anyone is not on receiving our newsletter and would like to receive our newsletter, please give us your name and email address. That's all we need, and we'll make sure that it happens.
Okay. Another big thing, if you do get our newsletter, we purchased it. Whoops, don't know what happened there. Sorry. We bought a house last August, moved in last October. It's a very old house. It needs a lot of love, a lot of work.
Dave, you can come back, mate.
That's right. But he's not here. And this was a big move for Andrew and I after 20 years of renting, but we just felt God leading us this way. So we now have this house, and we're just really excited about the new doors that might open. Our kids have all moved away, so we're those empty nesters, which most of you probably have experienced. It can be quite tough. So we now have a project. We have something that we can put our time into and see what doors God opens for the community around us. As a family, the biggest thing is the prayers of you guys, of our family in St. John's, our family at DRV. The prayers are what sustains us. It really does. This year gone, our youngest decided to get baptized, which means all of our children have declared that they want to follow Jesus, which is, our biggest desire and a real blessing. So we just want to pray that in everything they do, every decision they make, a little bit like what Alan was saying this morning, that God comes first, no matter whether it's a job, relationship, decisions, that whatever comes their way, that God will be the center of what they do. So thank you. Any questions? Have we got time if anyone wants to ask a question? Yeah. Okay, that's a really good question. We were going to a church for many years, for about 15, 16 years. I was doing the young kids ministry and things. It's hard to explain, but the growth in the churches is all Latin Americans. And so it became very cultural irrelevant because they do it in a very South American way, that they run the service, that they worship. There's a lot of superstition in their beliefs. And just as we had Spanish friends that we wanted to start reading the Bible with, we didn't see it to be the best place to take them because of the cultural clash. So that's why we started our faith group, and so we meet every week and read the Bible and pray. So we see that to be our church community. And our prayer is that more people will join that and keep coming in to read the Word of God.
Our neighbour knocked on our door and he said, I do want to read the Bible with you. This is many years ago. And he said, I can really only do it on a Sunday. That would be the most convenient time. I went,
that clashes with church. What do we do about that? So we did go back to our pastor and we
Yeah.
said, we've got this happening and we're really torn. We want to read the Bible with this, literally our neighbour, who, cut a long story short, came to the Lord and then he died only a few months later. Like, it was a really cool story. But he instigated us to start meeting on a Sunday, and our local pastor said to us, just do that, focus on that. That's why you've come to Spain, because then he knew our heart was for the Spanish. And his ministry was to literally immigrants, immigrant ministry. And that's fine. And also we realized there's no ministry, very few ministries in Gijón that are actually focusing on the local Gijonesas, the local Spanish people. As you can imagine, there's so many minority groups, whether it's homelessness, drug and alcohol, whether it's immigrants, whatever it might be, all great, valid ministries, but they're all the minority groups. And we had a heart to go to Spain to work alongside the Spanish, to help them see Jesus, and we've stuck to our guns on that one. So that was part of the process too, moving away from that local church, but still in really good relationship with them, with more than one of them. Yeah. So, no is the answer. But our faith
It depends
group,
how you define church.
exactly.
So-
Our faith group is church to definitely them and to us too, and we pray that they'll grow because it's in the youth centre. Yeah. Good question.
We look more for
Ask
sharing
us anything
more
at morning
at morning
tea.
tea.